y'all, it's me again, the Rock Doctor, coming at you live with another installment of Rock Guitar 101. So today, what I wanted to do was I wanted to go way back in time here to the concept that I teach my my intermediate, just beginning to get a handle on lead guitar students in the real world. And so what's happening here is here's what we've got. We're going to be in the key of A. And at this point, my students know how to find all the notes on their guitar. They know the basic pentatonic scale and blues scale in the home position. This guy. Okay. They know all their basic chords. And I'll outline the chords in this little backing track in a second. And the thing what we're trying to do, the other thing that we've got here is we've got 4 essential licks that everybody uses. And the concept here of today's lesson, the gist of my channel really is how to make those licks work, how to apply them to chords as they go by, and the fact that you can use these 4 licks over any of the chords in the progression if you know what to do. And the key here is to end each of these licks, which lasts for 2 bars, on, for now, the root note of the chord that's happening beneath the lick when you get to the end of that first bar. When you enter the second bar, you want to hit the root note of whatever the chord is. So, let me just start playing through this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fire this thing up, and I'm going to play one of my essential licks. I'll start with essential lick 1, which you'll see in a second, and I will just continue to play that lick all the way through the 12 bars and end it on the appropriate chord. I'll kind of talk my way through it. Ending on a D. Ending on A for the A chord. D again for the D chord. A again. Jump D again. Finally, I'm going to end on E. Essential lick 2. There's the D note for the D chord. A note for the A chord. D again. D chord, D note. A note. A chord. D is coming up next. D. And finally E at the end. Essential lick 3. D note. A note for the A chord. A note for the A chord. D again for the D chord, and then E. Essential lick 4. D note for the D chord. A note for the A chord. D for the D chord. A again. For the A chord. D again. And then finally E. There you go. So, ending the lick on the right note is an important concept, and the way I lay this out, all the licks last for 2 measures. So once you get that ingrained in you and on an autopilot, it's pretty easy to pick out an ending note that's a chord tone. The safest one is the root note of the chord underneath. So we've got that. Now, let's go over to the dry erase board and take a look. Hold on. All right. So I've got my backing track. I just made this one up. It's not posted yet, but it will be today or tomorrow. My 12-bar blues in A. This is an important thing to also learn. So take a look at what we got here. We've got a measure of A7 going to D7, and I'll talk about the chords that I actually use here in a sec. That's 2 bars. So there's a lick there. Okay. Then we've got 2 measures of A7. There's a lick there. Now I'm coming down here to D7. Look, there's 2 bars of D7. There's a lick there. 2 bars of A7, a lick there. E7 to D7, there's a lick there. And the final 2 bars, A7 to E7, and there's a lick there, okay? So this is one of the most basic 12-bar blues. Everybody should learn this. Even if you're a metal guy, you should at least know this. Really, everybody should. Now, real quick, the chords that I used on the backing track, real simple. Take a look. In the fifth position, I played this full barred A7, just to keep it simple. Here it is, look. Let me clean up. So look, I barred the 5th fret. I've got the power chord shape here now. My ring finger's on the 7th fret of the A string. My ring finger is going to go to the G string 6, and the rest is barred. The goal here is to make sure you get all the notes clear eventually. So there's what I use for the A7. For the D7 in this progression, I didn't use D7, I used D9. It sounds cooler, so check it out. To play this chord, it's in the 5th position too, pretty much. I'm going to take my flip-off finger, and I'm going to put it on the 5th fret of the A string. My index finger is going to be next, it's going to be on the 4th fret of the D. So you got a little major third there. Then finally, my ring finger is going to get the bottom 3 strings at the 5th fret. The hardest thing, I suppose, is getting that D string, that sharp note to come out. If you don't get it, it'll still sound good. Listen, let me muff it there. So if you don't stand your ring finger up or middle finger up enough, it's going to deaden it, but it still will sound good. So there is the D9. The E9 is exactly the same shape, 2 frets higher. Take a look. And while I'm at it, I guess, let me pump the track back up again, and I will play along with it. All right, here we go. A7, D9, A7, A7 again, D9, A7, D9, D9, A7, D9. There it is. Now, basically what I did there was I did 2 strums per measure, like this, and I put a little stop there between each strum. Do you see if I rested my my picking hand? The karate chop side. I kind of turned my wrist. Watch. Set your hand down and stop it. It'll give you a little swingy thing there, a little staccato-y. Like that. Okay, what else can I tell you? Yeah. So looking back at the dry erase board, you're gonna take a look. So yeah, the licks themselves were 2-bar phrases. My channel is chock full of those. Most phrases are 2 bars long. Some are 1, but on my channel, most of them are 2 bars long. And the end of the phrase ties in with the chord at the end of the 2 chords. So as you see how the chords are paired up, take a look down here. As an example, I've got A7 going to D9. So the lick lasts that long, and the last note of the lick starts when that D9 hits it, and I used a D note there. The second example, let's say we have the A7 chord twice, 2 measures of that. When I got to the end of the lick, when the A7 hit, I hit an A note. So that's the gist of it, trying to teach my students how to end on the right note and how to get mileage out of one lick, because you can make that one lick fit all of these little groups of chords if you know how to end the damn thing. That's your lick 3. D note. A note for the A chord. A note for the A chord. D again for the D chord, and then E. Essential lick 4. D note for the D chord. A note for the A chord. D for the D chord. A again. For the A chord. D again. And then finally E. There you go. So that's basically it, I think. I think that's everything. Yeah. So you got to know your chords, right? You got to realize that the chords are paired up in 2 measure phrases. So are the licks. You got to know your pentatonic / blues scale shape. See it? And you got to know what note to end on, which is, in this case, in this example, the root note of each chord in the second group with a second chord in each group of 2. That's it. So give it a try. You can expand on that later, but that's a pretty good start if you don't know all that stuff. Because, most people, they might learn some licks, but they don't know how to end them, what to do with them. And so they fall on their face. How do I know? Because that was me, baby, falling on my, look at his face. Oh yeah, I've fallen on it a bunch. And so that's the gist of it. All right, so it's me, the Rock Doctor. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, order me a pizza, and find me a hot chick bass player, please. Yeah. And I'm out of here. I love you. Bye.